not too long ago, I read a joke. Actually, it's an insult, I guess, an insult joke that I thought was one of the funniest things I've read in a while. Basically, it says, you may not be the dumbest person in the world, but you'd better hope he doesn't die. I think I might qualify for that joke somewhere in there. I believe that could be said to me. Because here I am, back in the front of Pearl once again. And even after all the failures of last time, I've watched some more videos. I've done a little more deep research on removing the broken dipstick tubes. And so I'm back to basically try the same thing I've been doing all along and expecting a different result. Now, don't psychologists say that's a definition of crazy? Well, let's do this and find out. Well, welcome back to the MT and Me, and thanks for joining us again. After that video full of failures last time around, I'm hoping things go a little smoother with the editing process this week. I'll have to wait until I get the videos done to find that out. But in the meantime, I would really like to get this little piece of tubing out. Now, as I told you just a second ago, I've watched a lot of videos, and I mean a lot of them, everything I could find, showing the removal of dipstick tubes, both broken and unbroken. And they all show the same methods. The only thing I haven't tried is, oh, I don't have a bolt here. My bolt is already in the dipstick tube here. You can see I put the bolt in. It is in just as far as it can go. This has all been sprayed down with solvent, and it's been soaking for about half an hour. So maybe we're gonna try something here in just a second. But to take a bolt and run it through like a socket that the bolt will clear, and big enough with a little piece of tube to clear as well. Something that'll sit around the edge on the engine block. And then as you screw the bolt down in the into the piece of tubing, it'll eventually hit the socket, and of course it can't go any further down. So the idea is that it will start pulling that tubing up as you continue to screw it in, and it'll pull it out. I haven't tried that yet, just because I haven't really put the hardware together yet. So that's still a possibility. The only other thing I picked up from the videos that might help is a couple of guys heated the engine block before they went to work on it. Mostly because they were dealing with dipstick tubes that have a grommet on them for sealing. So they pop in, and there's like a rubber or a plastic grommet on there. I know this tube does not have one, or at least the replacement doesn't have one. I'm assuming the original doesn't either. But there is a possibility that heating the metal up will cause it to change in size, to expand and contract a little bit as it heats up and cools off. So that could loosen that little piece of stainless steel stuck down inside the cast iron engine block. I don't know. So we may try a torch on this too. But what I'm going to do first is just kind of what I've done before, and that is take a hammer and take a pry bar, and rather than try to leverage it up, I'm going to come at it from the bottom. I'm going to stick the pry bar just up against the get my hands in here, up against the top of this screw and strike at it from the bottom and see if I can't put some upward pressure on there. Have transmission coolant tubing in the way here. It's just exactly where I don't need it to be, of course, so we'll work around that. I can't tell that it's making any progress right now. I don't know. One of the other things that every one of these guys said was that it's not a quick job. It takes a lot of work and finagling and a lot of patience. Most of these guys work from half a day to most of a day getting that little piece of tubing out. And in most cases, granted, they had more tube down in the block than I do. I don't think I have, but about maybe an inch, something like that. And there again, that's based on looking at the replacement tube. So I don't think there's much. It's just stuck firmly, and it's just in an awkward enough place here that you don't really have room to get to it. It's right up against the, this is the front of the engine. Like I said, you know, remember this is where the fuel pump goes. That goes right into the engine block. And this is literally the front. This is one of the output tubes coming off of the water pump right here. So yeah, we are right at the front of this engine, and it's just got this little, probably maybe at about a 40-degree angle going down into the engine block, and then it twists its way on back, all the way back to the back of the oil pan, where the deep spot is, to get a reading. You would think, you know, that I guess with the oil pan on the back, that they would have moved it further back. But here again, I've explained before that on these engines, they put the oil pan one way on vans and trucks, and it's the other way on cars. So to keep from having to have a specific engine for either one, I'm quite sure it's designed so that you simply flip the oil pan around and put it on the way it has to go on. So the engine block is made with the dipstick on the front. They just give you a longer dipstick if you got to go to the back of the oil pan. And goodness knows, Pearl has a long one, as I've showed you. So I don't know what to do except keep pecking at this and see if maybe we can make a difference. Let me try changing my instruments here. See if maybe this will make a difference. Can't even get any good pressure on that one. That's not gonna work. Okay, well, let's see. I apologize, I'm banging against tripods and both cameras, so if you get a little shaky video, that's the reason, okay? I'm working in close spaces here, especially with this camera right here on the close-up. It is literally almost in my lap to get this shot. It's not leaving me a whole lot of work space to do my work, but maybe using this crowbar will be a little easier. Let me. Seems to me that all I'm doing is knocking the screw slightly loose, and then I can reach up here and tighten it back up. Then I hit it again and it knocks it slightly loose again. But it doesn't seem to be moving this little sleeve any at all. And I'm just waiting on the moment when this hammer misses and slams into my finger down there. I may be making up words at that point. Well, shoot. This bolt is long. It actually goes down probably about this far, which means theoretically it may be going past the end of that little piece of tube. We're certainly getting close to it. Not that that makes any particular difference, I don't think, but my point is I don't think getting a longer bolt or something like that is going to help any. Here again, maybe if I found something that had a little more tooth to it, that might work. I saw several people who did not have like a sharp bolt actually take a bolt that fit fairly snugly, and they tapered the end a little bit and cut a notch in it, basically to try and turn it into a what's called a self-tapping bolt. And because some of these guys actually used a tapper assembly to go in and tap it and then screw something down in it. And you could do the same thing with a self-tapping bolt of the right size. So, you know, one way or the other. So there again, that's another possibility of something to do. This apparently is not working. So what do you say we take this bolt out, if I can get it out now, and we'll kind of regroup and see where we go from there. Please stand by. Okay, what we're going to try next is going back to the screw remover, and I've mounted it in a drill this time, so it'll put a little more oomph and a little more torque behind it. I still don't want to race it because I just don't think that'd be a good idea, but we're going to fit it in place here and see if we can't just nudge this thing into locking in to that piece of tubing, and maybe at least getting it to spin. I think if we can get it turning inside that socket in the block that it's in, that'll be a step in the right direction. Let's see what happens. I believe all I managed to do was kind of worm out the top of that thing. I don't believe it moved any at all. See how my screw fits in there now. Well, it goes in quite loosely at the top because I've worn it out so much. Okay. So that didn't work. I think I'm just going to try picking at it a little bit and see if maybe I can't somehow get a grip on it and pull it out of there. Or at least move it. I'd settle for just moving it some. That would constitute a victory at this point. when I take this probe and I go down in here, I can feel the edge of it. It's that deep, okay? Like I've been saying, it's maybe, I don't know, maybe a little over an inch, perhaps, inch and a half. It is firmly stuck. You know, I almost want to say it might be moving just a little bit, but I really think it's just an illusion. I'm going to keep this up. Like I said, it's at that point of, let's just try anything. You know, the worst I can do is tear it up. And the darn thing's already broken, so not too terribly worried about doing that. I think I have a hole in it. Let's see if I can do what I was talking about. I don't know if we're any closer to the finish line or not. Well, I know everyone who worked on this said it takes time. You have to just kind of keep after it, and it takes patience. But I think I'm at the point that I need a break this evening. It's getting kind of late anyway. So I'm going to take a deep breath, put my tools away, and come at this again tomorrow with fresh initiative and see if we can't accomplish something. I'm still convinced that it will come out because I've seen it. I've seen it done in the videos. These other people have finally gotten them out. But it's not been easy. This one ain't easy either. But I still believe it's possible. Stick around, and we'll find out if I really am crazy or not. Cluckatoo. Well, the next day is here, and we are back, obviously, inside Pearl. Let me tell you right off the bat that I'm not going to get back on the engine today and trying to remove the little piece of dipstick. Just don't have the motivation. Plus, it's turned cloudy, it's been raining, things are wet. It's just one of those bleh days. So no, I'm just not going to get out there and keep on doing the same thing. Gotta take another look at it, do a little more work, and try to come back with maybe a slightly different plan of action. I'm not sure what that might be. I don't even know if there is another plan of action to take, but if it's out there, I'm gonna find it. So basically what I'm saying is that we're gonna stop where we are for this week because I've got to get this ready, get this video ready and uploaded for you to watch because I have a very busy weekend coming up. We have what is pretty much the biggest festival of the year that happens here in my county going on this weekend. A festival in celebration of the lowly but noble armadillo. And next week I will be showing you some highlights of the 52nd annual Armadillo Festival here on the MT and Me. So be sure and tune in for that, and maybe a little work on Pearl. I just don't really know at this point, but I do know we'll have some armadillo stuff for you. All right, so be sure and watch for that. Thank you for watching this week and for putting up with basically another fail. Getting real good at that. Getting real good at it. So hang in there until we find success together here on the MT and Me. Subscribe if you haven't already, please. I think it's 152, 153, somewhere in there now, and slowly crawling up. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Help us out on that. Give me a thumbs up so that YouTube will take notice. Like and share this video, and of course you find links below to the mtandme.com to buy me a coffee in case you'd like to help out with the Pearl Project, and also the address of our YouTube page as well. Hope you'll check those out and check us out here each and every week. Thank you, my nomies, so much for hanging in there with me. It's Armadillo Celebration next week here on the MT and Me. Once again, there's still no little logo over here in the corner, and it's not going to come across and go up. And so we're just going to fade to black, call it even, and look forward to a sunnier and brighter day next time. Please join me. I'm Russ. We will talk later.